हाय स्टुडंट्स, सातत्य कोचिंग क्लासेसच्या ऑनलाईन लेक्चर सिरीजमध्ये आपल्या सर्वांचं स्वागत. अ व्हेरी व्हेरी वॉर्म वेलकम इन द सायन्स सेक्शन. वी विल स्टार्ट विथ सायन्स 1 chapter number 3 that belongs to chemistry section, chemical reactions. And equations. Board weightage of this particular chapter is minimum 4 marks and maximum 6 marks. This means there are compulsory questions of 4 marks in the board. First, we will start chemical reaction. What is meant by chemical reaction? Before discussing, let us target on the example CuESO4 plus Zn arrow ZnESO4 plus C. Observe this particular reaction very carefully. If you observe it carefully, you can realize that a chemical bond between copper and sulfate get broken and a new substance is formed as a product, that is ZnESO4 zinc sulfate. I repeat, copper sulfate when reacted with zinc, it gives zinc sulfate plus copper. This is example of chemical reaction. But exactly what is happened over here? A chemical bond between copper and sulfate got broken and it is transformed into a new substance, that is zinc sulfate. Let us take another example, very simple example, C plus O2 CO2. In this particular reaction, there is formation of chemical bond between two elements and it is transformed into new substance, carbon plus oxygen, carbon dioxide. So it is not always necessary bonds should be break during chemical reaction. Many a times new bonds are also formed during chemical reaction. So we can define the chemical reaction as, we can define it as a process of formation of new chemical bonds or breaking of chemical bonds to form a new substance. What I am saying? Chemical reaction, it is basically a process in which new chemical bonds are formed or chemical bonds may be break to form a new substance. This particular process is known as chemical reaction. In this reaction, you can observe a new substance is formed. In example 1, zinc sulfate. In example 2, carbon dioxide. Now, next, topic number 2. Again, we will take the same example. CuSO4 copper sulfate plus Zn zinc. It forms zinc sulfate plus copper. This particular reaction, it is clearly divided into two sections. LHS, this is section number 1, and RHS, this is section number 2. Section number 1, left hand side. Section number 2, right hand side. LHS indicates the substances taking part in chemical reaction, while RHS indicates substances formed after chemical reaction. What I am saying? LHS of this particular chemical reaction indicates the substances which are taking part in chemical reaction, while RHS right hand side indicates the substances formed after chemical reactions. The substances which take part in chemical reactions are termed as reactants, and substances formed after chemical reactions are termed as products. Reactants and products. If you go through exercise of this particular chapter, but I think question number 2, in that question it is clearly asked to identify the reactants and identify the products. So always remember, in any chemical reaction, the substances which are placed on LHS or left hand side, they are reactants, and substances which are placed on RHS or right hand side, they are termed as products. Boredom may give you any reaction and will ask to identify reactants or products, or sometimes question may be like that for 2 marks. Define reactants, define products. 1 mark, 1 mark. I repeat, reactants are always placed on LHS and products are always placed on RHS of chemical reaction. There are too many reactions in this particular chapter, but always remember, reactants are always on LHS and products are always on RHS. How I can define reactants? The substances which take part in chemical reaction are called as reactants. The substances formed after chemical reaction are called as products. Till we discuss what is meant by chemical reaction, what is meant by reactants, what is meant by products. Now next, equation. What is meant by equation? Equation, it is a very common term you are hearing since standard 5th. You came across many equations in your algebra and geometry, but equations are also included in the science. Again, same example, CuESO4 plus ZnESO4 plus Cu. Now I will term it as a chemical equation. I can term it as a chemical equation. Why it is necessary? It is a condensed form of the reaction. If such a reaction I explain in words, you take copper sulfate solution in a test tube, add a zinc dust to it, then after while a solution of zinc sulfate remain in the test tube and copper is liberated in such reaction, then it is quite lengthy, quite sleepy. To explain such a reaction in a condensed form, I have used the symbols, molecular formulae, and I represent that particular reaction in a condensed form by using symbols and chemical formulae. So it is very easy to identify the reaction. So what is meant by chemical equation? Then I am writing the definition of chemical equation. What is meant by chemical equation? It is a representation of chemical reaction in a condensed form by using symbols or molecular formulae. What I am saying? Chemical equation, it is nothing but the representation. This particular representation we have to do it on paper. What we have performed in the laboratory, practically, that particular reaction, it is should be represented on paper. That particular representation is known as chemical equation. So it is a representation of chemical reaction in a condensed form, in a short form, condensed form, and by using symbols. These are the symbols, copper and zinc. As they are elements, these are the symbols. Or molecular formulae. These are the molecular formulae. Copper sulfate, zinc sulfate. They are compounds, and I represented this particular reaction on blackboard. So it is a representation. But many a times it is absolutely impossible to express reaction on paper by using symbols or by using molecular formulae. At that time, word equation is necessary. Word equation. What is meant by word equation? We will discuss. What is meant by word equation? I repeat, many times it is difficult to represent the chemical reaction in condensed form, in symbolic form on the paper. So, in such conditions, we have to take the help of word equation. What is meant by word? In Marathi, it is simply a शब्द स्वरूप. एक शब्द स्वरूपामध्ये ज्यावेळेस आपल्याला त्याला रिप्रेझेंट करायचंय, then it is called as word equation. The same reaction I can put in the word equation. How it is? See, copper sulfate plus zinc dust, it gives zinc sulfate plus copper in a metallic form. It is a simply word equation. The representation of chemical reaction by using words in the form of word, it is called as word equation. Now repeat. The first point is what is meant by chemical reaction. Second point, what is meant by reactants. Third point, what is meant by products. Fourth point, what is meant by chemical equation. Fifth point, what is meant by word equation. I again repeat, board may ask the questions like identify the reactants, identify the products. So always remember, reactants are always on left side of chemical equation. Products, they are always on right side of the equation. Their definition: substances which are taking part in chemical reactions are called as reactants. Substances formed after chemical reaction are called as products. So now there are certain conventions to write the chemical equation on paper. Conventions. Or you can say it as a rules for writing chemical equations. मराठीत सांगायचं म्हटलं तर रूल्स, इक्वेशन लिहायचंय तर कसंही लिहायचं नाहीये, त्याचेही काही नियम आहेत. ते नियम आपल्याला समजावून घ्यावे लागते की मला केमिकल इक्वेशन कागदावर लिहायचंय पण कसंही लिहिता येत नाही. काही रूल्स, काही कन्व्हेन्शन्स यू हॅव टू फॉलो. अगदी तुमच्या क्रिकेटच्या खेळासारखं. इफ यू आर प्लेइंग क्रिकेट देन देर आर सर्टन रूल्स. तो कुणी आलाय कसाही बॅट फिरवायला लागलाय, कुणी पळायला लागले दाही दिशाला, तसं चालत नाही. प्रत्येक खेळाचे जसे काही नियम असतात, इन सिमिलर वे हा सुद्धा आपला केमिस्ट्रीचाच खेळ आहे. हा केमिकल इक्वेशनची मॅच चालू आहे, तर त्याची सुद्धा काही कन्व्हेन्शन्स आहेत, काही रूल्स आहेत. कोणते कोणते कन्व्हेन्शन्स आहेत? तर पहिलं जे कन्व्हेन्शन आहे तर कन्व्हेन्शन नंबर 1, रिएक्टंट्स are always written on left hand side of chemical equation. त्याला काय होतं सर, राईटला गेलं काय लेफ्टला गेलं काय? नाही. Reactants, they are always placed on LHS. Products are always written on right hand side of equation. A arrow is placed between reactants and products. Arrow कुठं लिहायचा आहे? रिएक्टंट्स आणि प्रोडक्ट्सच्या मध्ये. द डायरेक्शन ऑफ एरो इट इज ऑलवेज फ्रॉम रिएक्टंट्स टू प्रोडक्ट्स. एरो शुड बी हेडेड from reactant to products, not in reverse direction, products to reactants. It is always from reactants to products. And what is the importance of this arrow? Arrow indicates the direction of reaction, in which direction reaction is taking place. I will explain these three conventions. The same C plus O2, CO2. These are reactants written on left side. This is product written on right side, and this is arrow between reactants and products. Arrow is pointed from reactants to products. It indicates the direction of reaction. Then if next rule, if there are two or more reactants or products plus sign is used between them. आता हे इक्वेशन आहे. मग इक्वेशन मध्ये सर बेरजेचं चिन्ह आहे, वजाबाकीचे, गुणाकाराचे, भागाकाराचे. which symbol should I use? So you should use the symbol or sign plus, which is placed between reactants or products. So next, if there are two or more reactants or two or more products, plus sign is used between them. इतकंच साइन वापरल्या जातं. बाकी गणितामध्ये दुसरं कोणतंही साइन वापरल्या जात नाही. हा, तुमच्या गणितामध्ये इक्वेशन आहे, तिथं गुणाकार, भागाकार, बेरीज, वजाबाकी, बरोबरचं चिन्ह वगैरे असं वापरलं जातं. बट इन सायन्स ऑलवेज प्लस साइन इज युज्ड, आणि rather than is equal to arrow is used. Now I want to make this particular equation more informative. So I can mention the states. S for solid, O2 gas, and CO2 gas. What I have done? I have placed the symbols S solid, gas G below it. So this particular equation, it is become more and more informative. Again the same example, CuSO4 plus Zn, ZnSO4 plus CuSO4, it is aqueous, it is solid, again it is aqueous, and it is solid. So what is meant by AQ? AQ, it stands for aqueous or solution state. Means copper is dissolved, copper sulfate is dissolved in water. So to make next our convention number 5th, to make the chemical equation more informative, the states it should be mentioned in the chemical reaction. Symbol S for solid, L for liquid, G for gaseous, and AQ for aqueous or solution state. So this particular equation, it become more informative. This is the convention number 5. Now convention number 6. There are so many reactions. In some reactions, heat is given out. In some reaction, heat is absorbed. It is a particular situation. Then such a particular situation we should mention during chemical reaction. When heat is to be given from outside, if heat is given from outside टू परफॉर्म रिॲक्शन. एखादी रिॲक्शन परफॉर्म करण्यासाठी जर का बाहेरच्या हीटची आवश्यकता असेल तर that particular heat it is mentioned on arrow in the form of triangle. In the form of triangle. की एक समजा आपण काय केले, रिॲक्शन आहे, त्या रिॲक्शनला काय आहे, हीटची आवश्यकता आहे. मग हे शब्द स्वरूपात न सांगता आपल्याला कंडेन्स्ड फॉर्म मध्ये सांगायचे. मग अशा वेळेस काय करायचं, ह्या एरोवर हे त्रिकोणाचं चिन्ह टाकून द्यायचं. इट इंडिकेट्स सच रिॲक्शन नीड्स हीट फ्रॉम आउटसाइड फॉर इट्स परफॉर्मन्स. ही रिॲक्शन परफॉर्म होताना त्याला कशाची आवश्यकता पडलेली आहे, हीटची आवश्यकता पडलेली. इन द सिमिलर मॅनर एखाद्या वेळेस काय होतं, हीट बाहेर सुद्धा दिल्या जाते. की एखादी रिॲक्शन असते, हीट बाहेर दिल्या जाते. फार काय अवघड नाहीये. अगदी आपण जरी पाण्याला लावायचं चुना आहे, थोडा पाण्यामध्ये टाकला, थोड्याशाच पाण्यामध्ये टाकला आणि आपण ते पाण्याला टच केलं तर इट विल फील वॉर्म. कोमट लागतं आपल्याला. कसं कोमट लागलं, ती हीट बाहेर दिल्या गेली, चुन्याची हीट बाहेर दिल्या गेली. म्हणजे ही रिॲक्शन काय झाली. मग अशा वेळेस काय करतात, मग सर अशा वेळेस हीट कुठं लिहायची, तर अशा वेळेस ही जी हीट असते इट इज रिटन ऑन प्रोडक्ट साइड. की ज्या वेळेस जर का हीट बाहेर दिल्या जाते त्यावेळेस ती हीट कुठं लिहितात, प्रोडक्ट साइडला लिहितात. असं प्लस हीट करून काय करतात, प्रोडक्ट साइडला लिहितात. पुढे आपल्याला डिस्कस करायचे त्यावेळेस मी तुम्हाला सांगणार आहे की ही एंडोथर्मिक रिॲक्शन आहे, एक्झोथर्मिक रिॲक्शन आहे. पण हे काय आहे, कन्व्हेन्शन आहे. बघा कोणते कोणते कन्व्हेन्शन घेतले. कन्व्हेन्शन नंबर 1, रिॲक्टंट्स आर रिटन ऑन LHS लेफ्ट हँड साइड, प्रोडक्ट्स आर रिटन ऑन राइट हँड साइड. Arrow is placed between reactants and products. Direction of arrow it is from reactant to product. It indicates the direction of chemical reaction. Next, if there are 2 or more reactants or 2 or more products, then plus sign is placed between them. Then fifth one, to make the chemical equation more informative. To make the chemical equation more informative, their states are mentioned in symbolic form. Sixth, if heat is absorbed during chemical reaction, a triangle sign is placed on arrow. If heat is given out during chemical reaction, that particular heat it is written on product side. These are the 6 conventions. Now, 7th convention. Still 2 conventions are left. Still 2 conventions are left. There are total 7 to 8 conventions. If question is asked particularly for 3 marks, you have to written at least 6 conventions. Each convention carries half mark. आणि हे पहा, आजपर्यंतचा जो बोर्ड एक्झामचा अनुभव आहे, अगदी मार्च 19 असू द्या, मार्च 20 असू द्या, हा जर गाड्यावर 3-3 मार्काचे प्रश्न येतात. नंतर ते सुद्धा समजावून सांगेल मी तुम्हाला. पण समजा कन्व्हेन्शन्स लिहायला सांगितलेले 3 मार्काला, तर इथून पुढे कधीही लक्षात ठेवायचं की अर्ध्या मार्कासाठी एक कन्व्हेन्शन काय आहे. आपण रिपीट उजळणी करू. पहिलं कन्व्हेन्शन काय आहे, रिएक्टंट्स आर रिटन ऑन LHS. दुसरं कन्व्हेन्शन, प्रोडक्ट्स आर रिटन ऑन RHS. तिसरं कन्व्हेन्शन, arrow is placed between reactants and products. Direction of arrow is from reactant to product. चौथं कन्व्हेन्शन, to make your plus sign is placed in between 2 or more reactants or 2 or more products. पाचवं कन्व्हेन्शन, to make the equation more informative, their states are mentioned in symbolic form. कसं सिम्बॉल, S for solid, L for liquid, G for gas, AQ for solution state or aqueous state. And next convention साबो कोणता पाहिलं होतं आपण, heat. If heat is given out, triangle is placed on arrow. So, and heat is absorbed, triangle sign is given on arrow, and heat is given out, it is written on product side. Now, 7th conventions. Some reactions are carried out under specific condition. काही रिॲक्शन अशा असतात की ज्या कॅरी आउट होण्यासाठी काही विशिष्ट, काही स्पेसिफिक अशा कंडिशन्स लागतात. कोणत्या कोणत्या स्पेशल कंडिशन्स? समटाइम्स एक्स्ट्रा टेम्परेचर, ही एक स्पेसिफिक कंडिशन आहे. सम रिएक्शंस कॅरीड आउट अंडर व्हेरी हाय टेम्परेचर्स, some reactions carried out under high pressure, some reactions need catalyst. ऐकल्यासारखं वाटतं का? कॅटॅलिस्ट आठवीला कळीचा नारद, भांडणात भाग घेत नाही पण भांडणं वाढवतो. A substance which does not take part in chemical reaction but by its presence it can increase the rate of reaction. These are some special conditions under which reaction is carried out. We have to mention that particular conditions, and such conditions are mentioned above the arrow or sometimes below the arrow. No matter, you can write above or you can write below. These are the special conditions or specific conditions that are mentioned above the arrow or below the arrow. Sometimes we are going to use the acids in many reactions. We use hydrochloric acid, we use sulfuric acid, nitric acid. Some acids are strong, some acids are dilute, some are concentrated, some are mild. Then how should I represent it on paper? Then I just mention in small letters. CONCE concentrated, DIL dilute. असे आपण काय करू शकतो, लिहू शकतो, ज्यानं आपलं केमिकल इक्वेशन काय होतं, मोर अँड मोर इन्फॉर्मेटिव्ह होतं. तर काय काय पाहिलं आज आपण? वी विल रिपीट. नंबर 1, what is meant by chemical reaction. Number 2, what is meant by reactants. Number 3, what is meant by products. Number 4, what is meant by chemical equation. Number 5, what is meant by word equation. And finally, the conventions to write the chemical equation. Chemical equation लिहायचे नियम. I repeat, 8 नियम आहेत. कोणते कोणते 8 नियम आहेत? नियम क्रमांक 1, reactants are written on LHS left hand side, products are written on right hand side, arrow is placed between reactants and products. Direction of arrow should be from reactants to products. Then next, plus sign is placed between reactants and products. Next, to make the chemical equation more informative, their states solid, liquid, gaseous, aqueous in a symbolic form. Next, heat. If heat is liberated, it is mentioned on product side. If heat is absorbed, it is mentioned on arrow in the form of triangle. Then specific conditions like high temperatures, high pressures, catalysts, it is mentioned above or below the arrow. Finally, if particularly for acids, concentrated acids, dilute acids, we should write CONC means concentrated acid. DIL, it indicates it is dilute acid. Now I am stopping here. आता नीट लक्षात घ्या, हे मी इतकं तुम्हाला शिकवले. मी तुम्हाला नवीन सांगितल्या पद्धतीनं की मी तुमच्यासाठी वेगळे लर्निंग पॉइंट्स प्रिपेअर करणार आहे. आता नवीन आपण काय करत होतो की हे सगळं फळ्यावर मी तुम्हाला तिथंच लिहायला सांगत होतो, पण मी तुम्हाला अगोदर सांगितले की आता आपल्याला नवीन असं करायचं नाही. मी याचे लर्निंग पॉइंट्स रेडीमेड तुम्हाला बनवलेले आहेत की जे ह्या व्हिडिओच्या खालीच तुम्हाला PDF स्वरूपामध्ये भेटतील, की ज्याला आपण काय म्हणू, ह्या नोट्स म्हणता येतील. मग आता आपलं काम काय आहे, हे जे मी आज शिकवलेलं आहे याचे व्हिडिओज रिपीट करा, परत परत पहा, कितीही बोर झालं तरी. आणि जे PDF स्वरूपामध्ये रेडीमेड 2 फोटोज येतील 2-3 तुम्हाला. ते काय करा, व्यवस्थित वहीवर ते लिहा. 1दा 2दा 3दा लिहा. हा अतिशय 9वी पेक्षा 10वी खूप सोपी आहे. मी तुम्हाला नेहमी मागच्या वर्षी सांगितलेले 9वीच्या आठाने बी नाही 10वी. त्यामुळे टेन्शन घ्यायचं नाही. आणि सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं म्हणजे बाहेर जायचं नाही. स्टे होम, स्टे सेफ. थँक्यू.